Page 5, Stars and Stripes Forever. Very famous march by John Philip Sousa. This is in 4/4 time. It's got one sharp in the key signature. We're in the key of G major. Make sure you can do the G major scale, and by the time you reach this level, you should be doing the intermediate level, or the 2 octaves up and down. Make sure you can do the G major scale, 2 octaves up and down. And while you're at it, you just as well do the E minor scale, because that's the relative minor. It's got one sharp in it too. I explain it all in the scale video, so go to my scale videos on that. Now for this, let's just cover one hand at a time to make sure we got the rhythm. Shouldn't be a problem, I don't think, but the fingering, yeah, I may have to talk about the fingering a little bit. You're starting out here in this position, G position. You got accidentals, so we'll deal with those. So we're coming in on beat 4. 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and that's an A sharp. You're going to hold that down for 3 counts, isn't that lovely? And then all these A sharps. 4 and 1 and 2. 2 and 3 and 4. Now they're saying thumb. The reason is we want to be in this position. So we're just going to do here, and when you get to the G sharp, you're just going to cross over for that one note. That's really common. We do that a lot. So the second line, second measure is 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now, third line down, first measure. 1 and 2. You see it's tied. The 8th note is tied to the quarter note, so you just hang on to it. If I take out the tie and play all the notes, it's 1 and 2 and. But just hang on to it instead of playing it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then scrunch up a little bit. 5th finger. It's like it was at the beginning. Now third line down, last measure. You're here. 1 and 2. Now, I would recommend here, this is the 4th line down, first measure. Instead of 3rd finger, put 4th on that. So, again, 3rd line, 3rd measure, the measure before that is here. And then a 4th finger. So you got 2 B's, you can do that. This way you're in position for the 3rd finger coming up on the A sharp. Now, we need to be in this position for this mess coming up. So it's, an A natural, so they have to give you a natural sign, otherwise that A sharp previously in that measure, it'd still be a sharp, so they need a natural. And then reach down, and then 4th finger. We just changed hand positions. So again, slowly. 4th line down, you're here, and then here, here, and then 3, and then here. Kind of crawling around like a bug here, huh? And the last line is 3 and then 2 1. B flat. Reach up to the octave. And then go, this is the last line, second measure. 1 and 2 and rest and 3. Reach down, that's an octave. You gotta reach up a little bit. And that's the right hand. Left hand has the chords, mostly broken chords. You start out with 4-2, here. Now you could do it here. It's just that later on we got to come down to here. And so by doing here, we're sort of in position. But there's nothing wrong with using 3 and 5 if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and use fingering in the book. It's fine. Here. 1, 2, 3, rest. And at the end of that line, you thumb on that. This way you can reach the D better for the next line. Now, 3rd line down, you're here, you're still in this position, but the thumb comes up. Then reach down, and then up again. You don't have to use 5th finger there on the 3rd line, 2nd measure. You can use 4 if you want, as long as your hand's big enough. It's because in the 3rd line, 1st measure, you're here. So you can use 4 if you want, or 5th, I'll leave it up to you, or your teacher. And then you're back to what you were doing at the beginning. fourth line down, second measure. It's an F sharp, and then an A natural, and a D sharp. They don't really need the natural sign. They're being nice to you because it's an A natural anyway. But since you just had an A sharp in the upper staff, they're telling you this really is an A natural. To be clear, it's best to be clear. If you're writing your own music or improvising whatever, make sure you're clear. If there's any chance of them misinterpreting what you want, put it in. So it's an A natural and a D sharp. So it's there. Now, if your hands real big, fat fingers don't fit up in here, then you have to go here. But otherwise, use the fingering in the book. And then down here, reach down. Now they're saying 2 at the end of the fourth line. To accommodate this, it's okay. You don't need to. You can use fifth finger on that. It's just the fifth finger's got to come down to here. So by using fourth finger on the first measure of the last line, you're just in position for the next measure. So again, the fourth line down, last measure is here, 2, and then here, and then here. And just stay in this position. It's kind of weird. Put the heads together. Now, when you first do this, you can kind of forget rhythm if you need to. You're just trying to get the hands to work together. It's like at the beginning, I'm here, here, and then, because you can see in the music how the notes line up between the staves, those notes play together. So that's what you're after here. You want to get the hands to working together, those together, and then here. Make sure that you have a rest in the left hand. Work out this whole thing, hands together, and once you have it, sort of, go back and just go over and over and get rid of any hesitation so you can play it in rhythm. You can go slow, it's got to be in rhythm. No hesitations. 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 1. You go through that. Once we have that worked out, then we can make it more complicated. Don't you love it? We'll add in the articulation, the slurs and all. There's not much of anything in the left hand, so I'll just say play the left hand connected except for the rest. Just connect everything there. In the right hand, you got slurs. Lift up. It's like taking a breath, and you're going on. So lift up in the right hand, but keep the left hand connected. Now here you're lifting up because you got to rest in the left hand. So I'm connecting the left hand there, but I'm lifting up. I'm taking a breath there. Lift up all these slurs. When you get down to the last line, look out. You're here at the beginning, you're here. Now when I play the B, I lift that up because I got to rest in the right hand. And then when I play the A, I lift up the left hand. I got to rest in the left hand. Copycat. Here, lift up. Connect the left hand. So here, these are just little lifts. I'm exaggerating them so you can see them better, but they're just little lifts. You want to hear. We want to hear just short breaths in there. And once you have a handle on that, then we go back and add the dynamics, which really that's just basically a loud piece. But get to know it well enough, and you can start feeling the phrases, and you'll come up and down a little bit on here. The dynamics apply to the melody. That's the right hand. So keep this left hand sort of a moderately soft. So forth. You get down to the bottom, that's like the climax, the exciting part. So now you go up to very loud in the right hand. Here. That's like the climax of the piece, that one note. That's very loud. And then you come back down to loud. Yeah, I use a lot of weight because I use weight when I play. I don't use muscles. It's just how much weight am I putting into it. The faster the key goes down, the louder it goes down. So I'm using a lot of weight and I'm pushing the keys down quick. The left hand can come up a little bit to about moderately loud, but keep it in the background. And that last note, come down. Down to about, you're ending a phrase. That's just part of shaping a phrase. Just come off a little bit at the end. Speed-wise, well, it's a march, and we want to feel it in two. Left, right, left, right. So for it's got to be a steady march. No hesitations or anything, or you mess up the marchers. They trip over themselves and left. And then on top of all that, they've added a little bit of pedaling. I don't agree with the pedaling markings in this book at all. I'd like to talk about this. And in this piece, you don't need pedal in this piece at all. You do it just fine without. I just did, pretty much. But here, I don't know why they want you to pedal at the end of a measure like this. Because we don't need the chordal type legato pedaling, which is a type of pedaling we use sometimes, and we'll use later on in the book, but not here. We don't need that. I see no reason for the pedal there. If I'm going to pedal, it's going to be to reinforce the natural accent, which is the first beat of a measure. I might pedal the first beat or two of a measure, and that's it. See, if I pedal it the way they're saying to, this is what I get. It covers up the phrases. It covers up everything. It's all wrong so far as I'm concerned. I mean, shame on you, Schaum, for doing that. If whoever edited this, try maybe just the first beat or two of a measure. But I want to hear the phrasing. However, I don't even like that either. I would prefer you just don't pedal it at all. And in the play with me, I'm not going to pedal it. You don't need that. Speaking of the play with me, let's do that now. We're going to go over it really, really slowly just to check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do any dynamics. There aren't any really. But we'll just check that and no pedal on this. I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, and go, and 4, and 1, and 2.